So this is Aunt Grace Strodel, and she is a survivor, in a sense, of witnessing the Hindenburg disaster. And so I've asked Aunt Grace to describe what happened that day. And so she's going to do that for us. Aunt Grace is 97 years old now. So Aunt Grace, when did the Hindenburg crash?
The Hindenburg crashed May 6, 1937. I was 11 years old.
Okay. And can you tell me about that day? What was happening that day?
Well, each time the Hindenburg came over, and I'm not sure how many trips it made, but Mother would pile the car with the kids and drive over, and we would watch them land. My father was really friendly with a few of the officers at the hangar, so they would take us inside the hangar sometimes. And one of the amazing things was that the Hindenburg was so long it didn't fit in the hangar, so they had to leave the door open at one end to have it fit. So it was a large airship.
Wow. And that was Hangar 1 at Lakehurst, New Jersey, correct?
Yes.
And Hangar 1 is huge.
Right.
So that gives you an idea of how huge the Hindenburg was, that it couldn't even fit into that.
Exactly.
That's amazing. So you knew that the Hindenburg was coming, so wasn't there a problem with the weather that day?
It was a little bit rainy, but they had a system where they would circle a few times and then get low enough, drop these ropes, and the men would help pull it down. And one of the men was a man who worked for a place that my mother took laundry. And so we knew he was underneath the Hindenburg.
Oh, wow.
And,
Did he survive?
yes,
He did. Okay. Because I know there were some on the ground that were killed in that process.
I think he was burned a little bit.
Okay. All right. So you all piled in the car to go see the Hindenburg come in. So you knew approximately when it was going to land?
Yes.
Okay. And so who was in the car with you?
Well, it was packed
Oh,
with Bill and Rose that was there. And Marion Faust, Lois Faust, and there may have been some others. We were all jammed. Bill.
okay. And so Grandpa and Grandma Ross were both there?
I think Mother took us.
Okay, so only Grandma was there. Okay.
And we drove down this back road where we always used to go to watch those men. And cars were, it was very narrow, so they were lined up close to the fence. And so we watched it come over right over top of us a few times. And then it got lower and lower until it was time to land.
Okay. And what did you see that indicated that there was a problem?
The first thing I saw, I was close to the window, was one part of it started to light up like a lamp. I thought it was just a signal, but it kept burning around and around. Just followed the shape of it, and then nose down.
Okay. And this must have been horrifying to everybody that was there. What was your reaction?
I always have to do something different. So I was sitting next to the window. Everybody else was in my way. I climbed over all of them, out the door, and ran.
So was your thought that the fire was going to reach you because you were that close, or?
I thought so. I just knew it was not a good place.
Yeah. So how far did you run?
My mother stopped me.
Oh,
But and then the cars had trouble turning around because it was this narrow road. And so it took a long time for everybody to leave.
were you close enough that there could have been danger from the fire, or were you pretty protected on that road?
We were safe, but it had gone over top of us so that we could see. And I just thought, what if they come around again with this light, whatever it was?
Yeah. So what effect did that have on you afterwards?
Still does. I'm very cautious with fibers. Checking the dryer that you clean out the lint. I just, in a good way, that I'm very careful of anything that could burn. And then right after that was the fire in Keswick. So there was a lot happening, and then we had forest fires that would come up right behind our house. So I was surrounded by a lot of fire.
Yes. So did you have nightmares after watching that come
I
down?
don't think I had nightmares. It just made me very cautious. And I think it was Carl just wasn't taking it seriously. But there were blips always around Keswick, and he was teasing in a good way. We were driving by the hangar area, and a blimp was going over, and he just stopped with the blimp over us. I was panicked, no reason.
Well, a good reason. You just watched a major airship blow up.
Yeah.
So that would not have been a good teasing for somebody who had experienced that kind of traumatic event.
I never saw anybody jump, but they were close enough to the ground where I think somebody did.
Yes. They did. And maybe you were running down the road at the time that people were jumping.
I was busy.
So that might have been God's way of protecting you from watching that, the fact that you were running and not looking back. So, well, thank you, Aunt Grace. I think this is great, and we may talk about some of the other, like the Keswick fire at some point.
Mother's idea after this, and we were all home. She lined us all up on the bed and gave us some calming drink. I can't remember what it was. Something you take when you're upset. And I can remember sitting on the bed with all the kids. So this.
I would love to know what that was, because there were things that were legal back then that wouldn't be now, or that we wouldn't think to give to our kids, but
It might come back.
well, thank you for doing this.